A warm welcome from Milwaukee. It's Game 3 of the series between the Brewers and the Braves. And finally, the monkey's off. Milwaukee's back. They can now start thinking about putting together a winning streak. Ricky Weeks is set to lead off and get things going for the Brewer crew. They got to get the bats going. Who's going to be in the lineups? We'll reveal all those here in the next coming moments as we get you closer to first pitch. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Kashan. Welcome back here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Well, it'll be nearly impossible for anyone to follow up what Yovani Gallardo was able to do out on the hill last night, but certainly not impossible for the Brewers to go out and win one more game. Here's part of our storyline tonight. Yo's night historic, the first pitcher since 1991 to pitch a shutout and score the game's only one. He was one over the minimum batters faced in last night's complete game shutout. Now on the offensive side, Ricky Weeks continues his hot start. Can he add to the totals of 3 home runs and 5 RBIs already out of the leadoff spot? Ryan Braun has hit safely in every game so far, but he needs help tonight, no doubt. Well, in a somewhat surprising move, the crew goes to the minors for tonight's major start. Who is Marco Estrada? Rock and BA have all the answers as we're set for the first pitch next on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hopped Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. Not such a bad night after all outside the closed roof of Miller Park. Brewers baseball tonight. It is the Brewers and the Braves, and there is Marco Estrada. He gets the call tonight, trying to follow up what was one of the best starts we've seen in this ballpark. Yovani Gallardo with that complete game 2 hitter last night. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. And now we're hoping the Brewers can make it a winning streak here tonight. And it's going to be Marco Estrada. And not exactly a household name, and certainly not a name that was even on the radar this spring, but he's here.
Yeah, not even on the roster, not even invited to spring training in the big league camp, but it was names like Willie Peralta, Maury Rivas, Mark Rogers. If the Brewers thought would be that fifth starter when Greinke went down with injury, but he has some experience, and he's got that good changeup. He made 7 appearances last year. one start for the Brewers. The one thing that he has going for him, he's got Will Nieves behind home plate. They have history with the Nationals together.
Yep, 2 years they were battery mates with the Nationals, and Marco Estrada is ready for his moment in the sun. How about Ryan Braun? He's off to a great start. He's hitting all 5 this year. Can he make it at 6 in a row? Brewers might need some offense. Stay with us. Lineups, first pitch coming up. Some of the sights and sounds from last night's win, and a masterpiece by Gallardo, and now it'll be Marco Estrada who will lead the Brewers here tonight. Game 3 of this series with the Atlanta Braves, 3 of 4. Freddie Gonzalez in his first year with the Atlanta Braves, 5th season overall as a skipper. He was in Florida prior to his tenure in Atlanta. And here's his lineup. It is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Martin Prado, Freddie Freeman, and Chipper Jones at the top. Freddie Gonzalez has Brian McCann, Dan Uggla, and Jason Hayward in the middle, with Alex Gonzalez, Matt Young, and Mike Minor, the left-hander, on the mound, matching up against Marco Estrada.
Yep, his numbers from a year ago, not very impressive, but he did make one start against the Minnesota Twins and did a pretty good job. Won this opportunity in spring training.
Terrific numbers this spring for Estrada, and 2 very good starts at the major league level in Arizona has earned him the right to get the first opportunity as Prado sends one down the line. That's a fair ball, and trouble right away for Estrada as Prado doubles to start it for Atlanta.
No, Estrada doesn't throw very hard. He's got to rely on good command with the fastball. He has to be careful with the fastball because his changeup is his best pitch. He got a fastball out over the plate. Prado waiting for it and hammers it down the line and left.
Leadoff double for Martin Prado. Braves with just 2 hits last night. As Gallardo went the distance, his low hit game of his career, and a 1-0 win last night for Milwaukee, the first win of the season. Freeman going up there hacking. A big league pop-up if there ever was one. It finally comes down for Betancourt, 1 away. Here's how the Brewers will line up defensively. Braun is in left. Gomez back in center with Almonte in right. The infield is McGee, Betancourt, Weeks, and Fielder. And Will Nieves will catch Marco Estrada. And I would imagine, Rock, that with Nieves behind the plate, that's a pretty good comfort zone for Estrada.
Yeah, they work together somewhat. They were with the Washington Nationals together. Didn't see too much of each other during spring training, except for those 2 starts that Estrada made, and he was outstanding. That's when he won the opportunity to be the 5th starter until Greinke comes back.
The home plate umpire tonight is Bill Miller, the crew chief of this 4-man big league umpiring crew. Phil Cuzzy, James Hoy, and Alan Porter on the bases. A leadoff double, Martin Prado. And now 1 out. Estrada facing Chipper Jones. And that's hit hard to right, and that is going to get to the wall. A run will score. Prado is in. Chipper Jones in with an RBI double. And right away, the Atlanta Braves do what they have not been able to do all series against Brewers starting pitching, and that's score a run.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Marco Estrada had better be able to command his fastball a little bit better than that, because what we saw from the Braves hitters last night, attacking early. Gallardo was making some very good pitches with his fastball on the first pitch. A little bit of movement. That was a changeup, not a fastball. And look at Chipper, able to reset his hands. He kept his hands back, his body went forward, but he was able to hammer that one into left.
Jones approaching a milestone, just 3 hits away from 2,500 now. 1-0 Atlanta. And there's strike 1 to Brian McCann. Big shift on for McCann. The Brewers do a lot of scouting and work off the spray charts a great deal under Ron Renicky, and we've seen probably as many shifts for different hitters this year, and we saw a lot last year.
Yeah, the Braves somewhat surprised at some of the shifts that the Brewers have been putting on for hitters that ordinarily don't get a big shift. But it's working so far. The Brewers pitching staff has been pretty good this week.
Now, Narveson started, went 6 shutout innings in the home opener on Monday, and then of course Gallardo, the complete game effort last night. There's Giovanni Gallardo. We're hoping to hear from Gallardo during the broadcast tonight. He has said he would join us at some point, so we'll look forward to our visit with last night's winning pitcher. Win number 1 of the season for Giovanni.
Well, incredible job. I mean, it's amazing what that young man can do. When he puts his mind to it, I'll tell you, he shifted into a different level. I mean, you could see it in his face 8th and 9th inning last night. He said, "This one's mine. I'm finishing."
2 balls and a strike on McCann. And that one just missed. Pretty good fastball from Estrada. That is an anxious manager tonight, and rightly so. And I think both managers are in the same boat. Freddie Gonzalez and Ron Renicky both using pitchers out of their minor league system to fill in for injured established starters. That one's hit hard to center field. Gomez up with it. Here comes Jones. Here comes the throw to the plate. And they got him at home. What a throw from Gomez. How about that arm?
Yeah, he got there quickly. He took it on 1 hop and threw a strike to Nieves. A 1-hop strike to home plate, and Chipper Jones, an easy out, didn't even bother sliding. Somewhat surprised that they sent him. Chipper's not running all that well these days. A bullet back through the middle. Watch how quickly Gomez gets to it. A one-hop strike, and the Avis does the rest. Nice job defensively by Milwaukee. That's a heck of a throwing arm out in center for Carlos Gomez.
That was something. There aren't many center fielders who can make that throw, but Gomez is one of them. That's his specialty, his defensive game, and it's just like hitting a home run right there. He saves a run. Now 2 gone. McCann out at second, and it's Dan Uggla.
Yeah, Chipper Jones looked like he was really struggling between third and home. Somewhat surprised that they sent him.
Coming off knee surgery last year. Remember, he tore his ACL toward the end of the season last season in Houston. Uggla playable for Almonte. So the side retired. 3 hits in the inning, just 1 run. Now the Brewers are coming to bat. For a throwing arm, gunning down Chipper Jones at home plate. Ron Renicky picking up his first win as a Brewers manager yesterday. Got an ice bath when he went into the clubhouse. And Renicky's lineup tonight, courtesy of Piggly Wiggly. It's Weeks, Gomez, and Braun. Fielder, McGee, and Almonte in the middle of the order. Almonte making his first start at Miller Park with Betancourt, Nieves, and Marco Estrada. And that lineup will face left-hander Mike Minor up from the Braves minor league system.
Yeah, taking over the rotation spot of Jair Jurgens. He's 6'4", 205 pounds, out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee. He was the first rounder in '09 out of Vanderbilt University.
And a very similar story here for Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves that Ron Renicky has with Marco Estrada, a guy that they pulled up from the system, and a fastball changeup type pitcher, and you just don't know what you're going to get on either side tonight. Ricky Weeks leads off for Milwaukee. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs on the young season. Weeks is 6 for 21 at the plate this year. Has a couple of hits in this series, including a home run that occurred on the home opener Thursday. Not much offense last night for the Brewers either. Just 1 run on 7 hits. Weeks was hitless. He was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts.
And nothing but big time accolades for Derek Lowe and his performance for the Braves last night. Great breaking ball. Guys are going back to the dugout shaking their head. He was that good. An incredible performance, but the Brewers are able to get the win.
Yeah, tough luck loss for Derek Lowe. He went 7 innings, only gave up 1 run, and took the hook. As Weeks takes a strike, 3 balls and a strike on Ricky. Weeks already has 2 leadoff home runs this year to start a game offensively. Gomez back in the 2-hole tonight. Ball 4. So Ricky Weeks is aboard. A leadoff walk for Minor. Defensively behind Minor, it is Prado, Young, and Hayward. Matt Young, his first start. Chipper Jones, Alex Gonzalez, Dan Ugla, and Freddie Freeman, the rookie at first. Brian McCann, the perennial all-star catcher, trying to navigate his young pitcher through this one.
Yeah, so far it looks like a much improved defense for the Braves. They really struggled in that department last year.
Saw Martin Prado make a great throw yesterday to the plate, cutting down a potential run. Atlanta has committed just one error so far this season through the first 5 games. The Brewers just 2 errors.
And Brian McCann going out to try and calm down the young left-hander. 23 years old, Mike Minor. He was in a big-time battle in spring training with Brian Beachy, who started on the at the home opener here in Milwaukee. He pitched well.
Yeah, Beachy certainly pitched good enough to win. See the numbers on Minor, some of the biographical information. He's just 23 and is slated for Gwinnett AAA. He'll be pitching for Dave Brundage this year, old friend. As Gomez takes a ball, Dan, it's 3-0. Carlos Gomez has walked once this year. Such an important spot in the batting order in front of Braun and Fielder.
Yeah, any way on, whether it's a hit, a walk, or get hit by a pitch, just get men on in front of the big boys. And Ricky's done a good job of it so far. Gomez got to get going.
Ball 4. Walked him on 4 straight. So 2 on to start this game. We had a chance to catch up with Dale Swain, Brewers hitting coach, about this left-hander.
You can get it up to 94. Got pretty good command of his fastball in and out. Nice little changeup he has command of, and a hard, slurvy, hard curveball type breaking ball that he has pretty good command with too. So he's, he's a tall, lanky left-hander that can get it up there pretty good, and you got to be patient with him, but he will, he'll make mistakes, and you just got to take advantage of him. You just can't swing out of the strike zone. You got to get him up in the strike zone.
And a guy that's basically a 2-pitch pitcher, the fastball and the changeup. That curveball that Dale was talking about is a work in progress for Minor.
Tough to have a work in progress pitch when it's a necessary third pitch and you're trying to do it in the major leagues.
Right.
Well, the Brewers have a chance here in the first to do some damage. Braun is up. Fielder is next. 2 men are on. Nobody out to start this game offensively for the Brewers. That gets away from McCann, and both runners will advance.
It looked as though McCann was going to throw behind the runner, Ricky Weeks, at second base. Not sure that ball bounced. It didn't look like it. And he was getting himself in position to make a pickoff throw, and that will be a pass ball right off the heel of the glove.
As if things weren't tough enough for Mike Minor. His all-star catcher has trouble with a pitch, and now it's second and third. And Braun ahead in the count. We're still struggling to find the strike zone.
And the Brewers doing a nice job making him throw those strikes, not helping him out.
Ron Renicky and Jerry Narron, the bench coach, hoping for a big inning. Braun had a great night last night. He was on base all 4 times last night. And you can almost tell in his body language, he's going so good right now at the plate. He's disappointed when he doesn't get a strike.
Yeah, he's just looking very good at the plate, has a very good approach. And his at-bats last night were incredible against Derek Lowe.
Braun drove in the only run of the game. It was a 3rd inning, 2-out, 2-strike single to left field. 2 hits and 2 walks last night. Hitters count for Braun. And it's inside, ball 4. The bases are loaded. 3 consecutive walks to start it. And the Brewers cleanup hitter gets to be just that in the first inning.
Well, it doesn't matter how your defense has been playing if your pitcher's not going to throw the ball over the plate. You just got to jump all over this guy right here. Don't let him off the hook.
Bases loaded, nobody out in the first. And Fielder takes a strike. Looked like he's dropped a changeup in there. Might as well, or at least a curveball. Something other than the fastball, which he struggled with.
That's a good idea by Brian McCann. You know, you throw the curveball, a lot of times you'll finish your delivery and help your fastball later on.
Fielder goes to the opposite field, a base hit. Weeks will score. Here comes Gomez. He'll score without a throw, and Fielder with his first 2 RBIs of the season. And it's 2-1 Milwaukee.
Well, the only left-hander in the Brewers lineup tonight. Lefty versus lefty. Prince has had some good at-bats against left-handed pitching. A couple of good at-bats in Cincinnati against the lefty. Going right with it. They had the shift on for Prince, and he hit it right where the shortstop normally is going to be. And with those guys on base, you know that's 2 RBIs. Good at bat by Prince, not trying to pull the baseball.
Now Casey McGee with 2 on, still nobody out. And a strike. There's a good fastball from Minor.
You see, McCann calls that curveball, and since that time, Minor's thrown 3 consecutive strikes. Sometimes you throw that curveball, you finish your delivery, you follow through, and you find your fastball again.
McGee had a big cut. Braun with great speed at second. Should score easily on a base hit. Fielder over at first. And Mike Minor in a battle here in this first inning. In tight. You can understand why Minor would be anxious for this start. He does have some major league experience. Last year he appeared in 9 games. 8 of those were starts. And a 3-2 record in those 9 games. Braun takes off. McGee fouls it away.
Yeah, he had that one stolen. Wow, what a jump. But with 2 strikes, you can't be taking pitches, allowing runners to steal a base.
Just outside. Maybe a little up, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, that changeup right there, 84 miles an hour. He's overthrowing the changeup right now.
Also understandable. The Brewers will try to take advantage as much as they can here in this first inning. See what he gives him on a 2-2 here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's a big cloud. There's a little haze, from the pregame fireworks that's hovered right over the field here. I'm not sure if it has any effect on the hitter at all.
I'm glad you said that because I thought it was me.
Yeah, I was checking my cataracts for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Thank you.
There's a little bit of a haze going on. Minor has it, and a third for 1. That's all they'll get.
I'm not sure why you do that. You go to second and maybe get a double play, but it does the Brewers a break on that. A 1 hopper, he goes to third base to get the lead runner. A little bit rattled out there right now. They just go right to second and turn 2. But they got 1.
And you could see Alex Gonzalez in the background, the shortstop, waving at second base as if to say, bring it here. So 1 gone. Braun is cut down. A fielder's choice for McGee. 2 on with 1 out. And here is Eric Almonte. And many fans here in Milwaukee getting a first look at Almonte. Started a game in Cincinnati. Started against the left-hander Travis Wood. And this might be two here. 6-4-3 and a double play. And after all of that, Mike Minor gets out of it with minimal damage. But the Brewers take the lead. Prince Fielder with his first two ribbies.
Second inning, Marco Estrada takes the bump for the second time in his spot start, and Brewers pitching coach Rick Kranitz tells us his expectations of Estrada.
Expect them to load up their lineup with some left-handed hitters, which I think for him is going to be okay because of his changeup, because it's a pretty good pitch. So I don't think that he'll be spooked coming in and having to face the major league team, because he's been here before and he's pitched well in the big leagues before. So it's nice to be able to have a guy like that come in and start a game for us.
Estrada was solid in the spring in 5 appearances. He went 1-1 with a 1.88 ERA, B.A.
All right, Telly, thank you. And Rick Kranitz is right. That interview was done before the game, before he saw the lineup, and his prediction is true. Freddie Gonzalez of the Braves going with 5 left-handed batters of the 8 position players. That one is scalded to center field. Gomez right there. Carlos Gomez making an impact defensively here early.
Yeah, took a good route on that baseball. That was a tough catch. That line drive that's right over the fielder's head, particularly center field. Goes straight back, able to get there. He's so fast, he was actually waiting for that baseball to get to him. But Jason Hayward centered nicely on a fastball that time. Estrada's got to be careful with that fastball tonight.
Here's Gonzalez.
I was talking with Will Nieves around the batting cage. He said he's going to really try and have Estrada, throw some sinkers early in the count, some sliders. You saw him start Gonzalez off with a slider. He wants to get his outs with the changeup. That's what he wants to do.
There's Will Nieves catching Estrada, kind of a right-handed version of Andy Pettit as he peers between the brim of his cap and his glove. I talked to Craig Counsell about that. He said he hates that as a hitter. I don't know. He said it's just, I want to see the pitcher's eyes, and when I can't. Counsell said he always struggled against Andy Pettit.
How does he see the signs? He's got his glove a lot higher than Andy Pettit.
The mystery behind the glove. There's enough space in there.
How much space does he have?
Just enough. Another well hit ball. That's a base hit for Alex Gonzalez. And the 4th hit already for Atlanta. And plenty of pitches finding the barrel here early.
Well, and Estrada's going to have to be able to throw strikes with those other 2 off-speed pitches. You know, 3 of the 4 hits by the Braves have come on fastball. The double by Chipper Jones was a changeup.
That is the book on this Braves team. They're a fastball hunting offense. Matt Young at the plate for Atlanta. His first career major league start. Utility man. He's 28 years of age and just now getting his first chance in the big leagues. But he's proven he's kind of the Braves version of Eric Almonte as far as perseverance goes.
This guy can steal some bases. He's very fast.
39 steals last year in AAA Gwinnett. He was a .300 hitter as well. First time at the plate last year in AAA, played all over. Little second base, all 3 outfield spots. Hard to believe he played second base because he's left-handed, but obviously some kind of odd scenario.
Yeah.
But a guy that can play any outfield position for sure.
Yeah, first major league at bat, but he has a run scored already. He pinch ran and scored a run. That doesn't happen very often.
He is a right-handed thrower, by the way.
Right.
But he's an outfielder mostly. That would be strange to have a left-handed second baseman.
Yeah, it's not fantasy camp.
It's like a good point. I knew I had a memory of a left-handed second baseman somewhere.
Right. He was 68 years old.
But he wore the uniform so well.
Yes, he did.
Three balls and a strike on Young, and that's ball 4. And Estrada, known for his control, working himself in a bit of a hole here in the second.
Yeah, register kids 8 to 16 for the chance to lead Sunday post-game Great Clips kids base runs at Miller Park. Visit participating area Great Clip salons for details.
Nice night outside Miller Park. Still too cool to open the roof. Temperatures in the 40s out there right now, but it's perfect here inside Miller Park. A comfortable 65 degrees.
Yeah, a little rain this morning, but the sun came out later on. Not bad weather for this time of year in Milwaukee.
Brewers will close the series with the Braves tomorrow. It's a matinee, and then the Cubs come to town Friday through Sunday. 7-game homestand to start it. Minor up there to bunt, trying to advance the runners. Bunts through it, and it's a strike.
Look at Prince.
No, he did not swing.
They were asking the first base umpire, that being Phil Cuzzy, if he went or not, and Phil Cuzzy wasn't paying attention.
And Ron Renicky wants his attention.
They had to yell at him a couple of times. I don't blame Ron Renicky for being a little bit upset about that.
Certainly looked like he offered at it. I thought he foul tipped it, actually.
Phil Cuzzy, for whatever reason, was looking over toward third base. Everybody confused down there.
A similar move at it. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
And sometimes a pitcher, when he's throwing and you know the guy's going to bunt, you're trying to get yourself in position to field before you get rid of the baseball and have a tough time throwing a strike. They're going to give you an out, throw it down the middle.
Corner infielders are crashing in. Might have a chance at third if he gets a bunt down, and that one is down. Nieves slips and falls from his seat of his pants, makes the play at first. Incredible that he's able to get it out. Unfortunate, though, that he could not start a potential double play.
Yeah, he was thinking about third base. Does that remind you of all of Carlos Ruiz in the no-hitter in the playoffs last year? There's Nieves. He goes down, but able to get a decent throw off to Prince. They got the out at first. Got to get an out. Drop down a bunt, get an out somewhere, especially when it's going to be the second out of the inning.
Well, look at that gob of mud on the baseball. So that's even more impressive than it seemed, courtesy of Foxmo. Sacrifice bunt for Minor, 2 outs in the inning. Good look from our crew there. It's got to be a little unnerving for a catcher to pick up a baseball and he's grabbing a big gob of mud on the ball.
Yeah, that doesn't happen much.
Top of the order, Prado.
That's a good slider. That's the best breaking pitch he's thrown.
Prado doubled and scored in the first inning. Driven in by Chipper Jones. Foul territory. Looks like it's headed for the seats. And a ball and 2 strikes on Prado. Estrada able to sneak a fastball by him that time.
I love the way Will Nieves is being animated back behind home plate. He was giving that target to Estrada. Anytime you see a catcher shaking a glove, well done with no glove. Speaking of glove, Will Nieves loves to work those pitchers. Watch him give the sign.
1-2. And down he goes, and a pump of the fist by Nieves. He knows that was important, if for nothing else. Estrada's confidence. The Braves strand 2. And it's 2-1 Brewers as we go to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the order coming up. Yuneski Betancourt with a base hit on the first pitch from Mike Minor.
He's starting to get things going a bit. Had a very good day on the home opener. Double and a single. And his first time up here tonight, a base hit.
Betancourt 2 for 4 in the opener. And aboard for Nieves. Well, just thinking about that play Nieves makes. I mean, we'll see how this game shakes out, but that could be one of the big plays in this game if he throws it down the right field line.
Right.
It's a merry-go-round for the Atlanta Braves, but he gets the out, and Estrada ends up getting out of the inning.
If you ask Nieves after the game about that play, he'll be disappointed in himself, thinking he should have had a double play. That's the way that guy thinks. He loves to play defense. He loves to catch.
He made a great point about his body language. He really, he's a cheerleader back there. Aside from calling the game, pitchers feed off that energy.
It's about body language. And you get a catcher back there that acts as though he loves what he's doing and almost willing a pitcher to put a pitch in a certain spot. You're right.
That mound can be a lonely place. At least you know somebody's in there with it.
I'll tell you, George Kataris and Gallardo were on the same page all night last night.
Yep, good point. Gallardo quick to credit Kataris for his efforts behind the plate last night. I'm thinking that might be a decent instructional for after the game today. The slide throw from your seat of the pants to first base. You think you could pull that off tonight?
I could probably do it, but it wouldn't be by design. Be an accident.
The falling down part would be no problem.
I've done it before. But the throw that I made went down the right field line. I'd do it, but I have my good pants on. Can't ruin those.
Nope. There's only one of those remaining. I mean, 20 years is a long time, and by golly, you're not ruining them now.
They're hanging in there.
Bouncing ball, chance for two, and this will be easy. 6-3 double play, the second double play turn behind Minor. So another look at the possible instructional tonight from Bill Schroeder. You see, he'll have this part down no problem.
That would be
what's going to give him trouble.
the tough one, and then getting up after you make the throw. That's another issue.
It was a great play, though. And a great look from Foxmo. And our man Andy covering that one. Marco Estrada batting with 2 outs. Taking home a souvenir. Well, Estrada has given up a lot of base runners on the mound, surrendering 4 hits already, but hopefully he'll settle in. And it appears that Minor has settled down a little bit. That double play, the Braves' turn to end the first inning, was a big one for him.
Well, you heard Dale talk about the Brewer hitters are going to have to make him get the pitch up in the zone. When he keeps it down, that's when he gets his ground balls and his double plays. He's had 2 of them already.
Here's Gonzalez, and the side retired. So a scoreless frame for Minor. 2-1 Brewers. We're on our way to the third, and a visit with last night's winning pitcher, Yovani Gallardo. He'll be with us when we continue. If you didn't see it, you missed a dandy. It was a masterpiece last night. Giovanni Gallardo going the distance, not only doing it on the mound, doing it with his bat. He scored the only run of the game, had the first hit of the game, and a 2-hit shutout. And Giovanni Gallardo is kind enough to join us here in the third inning. A 2-1 Brewers lead. We're watching Marco Estrada here. And Giovanni, thanks for joining us here. Congratulations. How do you feel today?
I feel fine. You know, just played a little bit of catch, kind of took it easy after throwing a lot of pitches yesterday, but everything's good.
A masterpiece for you yesterday, Yo, and a little bit different than you usually go about it. 2 strikeouts, 18 ground balls. Is that something that perhaps you're working on, something that you hope to do a little bit more of this year?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I think, you know, you get ground balls, it's going to definitely keep your pitch count down, and I was able to do that yesterday. You know, they have a great lineup. You know, they put the ball in play.
It seemed as though you waited to break out your good curveball, latter part of the ball game. It's always nice when you have good location with the fastball and able to, you know, pull that pitch out a little bit later in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, of course, just like I said, I mean, you got to keep those guys off balance. You know, they can hit the fastball, and I was able, just like you said, I was able to command my curveball a little better later in the game, which helped out a lot also.
I thought it was interesting, Ron Renicky saying that it was one of the tougher decisions he's had to make because of the way the game was going. And he said he sent Rick Kranitz over to talk to you in the 9th inning. And Kranitz's perspective was that you didn't even notice that he was in the area. Is that true? What kind of conversation was that?
That is true. I actually asked him today during BP. I asked Rick. I was like, hey, did you ask me how I was feeling after the 8th? He's like, yeah. And you just walked right by me. I was like, oh, well, I didn't even hear you. I was like, I didn't hear you. I didn't notice you. I'm sorry about that, but I guess I told him, I was like, yeah, I guess you knew what my answer was going to be either way. You know, I was going to go back out there for the 9th. I was going to basically try to convince you if you're going to take me out. I just started laughing. So
locked in is the best way to put it, I guess. And you were certainly locked in last night. Just give us some perspective here. I know the win was important. It's the beginning of the season, the first of the year, but talk about the team, where you guys are, the pitching staff. Just give us a sense of what's going on in the clubhouse.
You know, we're just like you said, I mean, it's early in the season. Obviously, you know, you want to get that first win as soon as you can, get it out of the way. It's always the hardest one. But, you know, like I've been saying, we have a great group of guys here. Their starting rotation, I mean, it's looking pretty good. So it's also our bullpen and definitely the hitters. You know, the hitters are going to, you know, hit the ball out of the ballpark, do whatever they can, you know, just manufacture runs, which is it's awesome.
Well, Giovanni, it was a pleasure to watch. We hope for continued success, and great job last night. Thanks for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
That is Giovanni Gallardo, last night's winner, and making a winner out of Ron Renicky for the first time in his managerial register. A 2-out hit for McCann, his second hit of the game.
He's a class act, isn't he? Giovanni Gallardo. I mean, as young as he is, 25 years old. You know, he pitches like a 10-year veteran, and I tell you, cool as a cucumber out there on the mound.
He is in every way an ace, and he's even more than that, if that's possible, because of what he brings offensively. You know, he's able to hit. He's a threat. Ron Renicky can manage the game differently because he is a weapon offensively. The Silver Slugger Award winner in the National League last season, given to the best hitter at that particular position. That was Gallardo's first Silver Slugger, and he might have a run at that award as he continues. Estrada falling behind Dan Uggla. Dangerous pitch coming up here. The 2-0, and Uggla, big swing and a miss. That one looked like it had a little cut to it. That 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, a little off. You add a little bit. A cut here, a sink here, and that's what Marco Estrada has to do. Whatever it was well located. You don't want to miss middle end to this guy when he has the count in his favor.
And it's 2-2. Now, during the Giovanni Gallardo interview, a couple of dandy plays by Ricky Weeks. One he made and got the out. The other one came up just short, but almost a great play.
Yep, able to get a glove on it. Good instincts, a good angle of the baseball, and able to knock it down at least.
Might have kept it from going into the gap for a double. McCann still at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Uggla. Ooh, tied him up inside, didn't get the call, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, pretty close. Surprised Uggla. Previous 2 pitches on the outside corner, that one just missing in, had a little bit of tail on it.
That could leave a memory, though. Got the extreme shift on for Uggla. All 3 infielders on the left side of the infield, the pull side. Runner goes, the 3-2, hit in the air, center field. Gomez right there. Inning over. Estrada comes back down 2-0 on Uggla. Still 2-1 Brewers. Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat.
Welcome back to Miller Park, where the Brewers lead the Braves 2-1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. I'm joined by the Brewers Chief Operating Officer, Rick Schlesinger. And Rick, the Brewers will conclude their homestand against the hated Cubs this weekend, and you have a way that we can make sure the ballpark is still filled with Brewers fans.
Yeah, well, we've got tickets available for Friday's game and Sunday's game. Saturday will be sold out. We have a few left. But what I've been telling people all week is it's going to be a Milwaukee Brewers crowd. We have a lot more tickets purchased by Brewers fans to date than we do by Cubs fans, which is great for us. But we want to fill the park, and it's a great opportunity for us to be a home team against the Cubs. And again, it's a big rivalry, and we're excited to see them this early, and we want to get 3 wins out of it.
Well, there will be another border battle here June 29th here at Miller Park. Talk a little bit about that and how people can come out and support this special event.
Well, we've got Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, the Brewers A-League affiliate, against the Peoria Chiefs, the Cubs A-League affiliate. It's June 29th, $10 tickets. And it's a great opportunity to see the young stars of both teams. And, you know, in 3 or 4 years, those guys are going to be on the big league club. So it's a fun event, and it usually draws very well. It's not too early to buy tickets for that as well.
Always good things going on here at Miller Park. Rick, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Telly.
All right, Brian, let's swing it back up to you.
Okay, thank you, Telly. And Rick, as Ricky Weeks robbed of a base hit. Boy, he scalded one to center field. That was a nice catch by the center fielder, Matt Young.
Yep, right at him. Those are the tough ones. I'm not sure whether you go back or come in, and he played it beautifully. Can't hit it any better than that. Ricky Weeks, a frozen rope into center field.
Anytime the pitcher ducks on a line drive and the center fielder makes the catch, you know you've squared it up.
Yeah.
Here's Gomez. He's had a nice game defensively already. Pops up a bunt. McCann, easy play. And out number 2.
Well, good idea, but wasn't executed very well. I mean, you got to like Gomez trying to get something going and dropping down a bunt. You know, Chipper Jones not as mobile as he used to be. You get that ball down, doesn't even have to be perfect for Gomez to beat it. But he popped it up. Watch the barrel of the bat go down as the ball gets there. That's why he popped it up.
So 2 men are out. Minor has settled down. He walked the first 3 batters of this game. Gave up 2 runs in the first. It was Fielder who drove in both runs with a base hit.
You know, Davey Nelson will tell you that you don't want to start running too fast toward first base before you drop down that bunt.
Gomez is so fast he doesn't need to.
Right.
That's starting to smell like an instructional.
Yeah, when you start moving the feet around a lot and drop down a bunt, that's when the barrel of the bat goes down. Nobody can teach bunting for base hits any better than Davey Nelson. He taught some pretty good ones.
Ball at 2 strikes on Braun. Walked his last time up. Look at there. He's teaching Craig Kashawn how to bunt as we speak.
He doesn't know it yet, but oh yeah, he does. He knows I'm putting him to work in the instructional.
Yeah. Signing you up, Davey. What will your role be in that? As Braun strikes out. Inning over. 3 up, 3 down. Minor's best inning. And we go to the 4th. 2-1 Milwaukee.
Reset, top of the first inning, Chipper Jones would bang home an RBI double to give the Braves a 1-0 lead, but it was Prince in the bottom frame of that inning with a 2 RBI single to give the Brewers a 2-1 lead. And after giving up a run in the first inning, Marco Estrada has settled in quite nicely, only giving up 2 hits over the last 2 innings. And we now stand with the Brewers on top of the Braves 2-1 here in the top of the 4th. BA.
And it's Jason Hayward to lead off for Atlanta. Hayward, Gonzalez, and Matt Young, 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Hayward hit a rocket last time up. Line drive out to center field. Gomez made a nice catch. There's 2 balls and a strike on Jason Hayward. Made a good run last year at the National League Rookie of the Year. Finished second to Buster Posey of the Giants. Out in front of a changeup.
And that's a good one right there. Good movement going away from Hayward at 79 miles an hour. Looks like a fastball out of the hand, but just doesn't get there.
Beat it into the ground, and it's Casey McGee in time for the out. 1 gone in the 4th. And that leads us to our AT&T trivia tonight from Miller Park. Who are the 3 players to have played for both the Braves and the Brewers? The Milwaukee Braves and the Brewers. Only been 3. We'll give you that one. The Hammer, Hank Aaron. Began his career as a Milwaukee Brave, went to Atlanta, finished his career as a Milwaukee Brewer. Matter of fact, hit his final home run as a Milwaukee Brewer. This is Betancourt. 2 outs. A couple of ground ball outs from Marco Estrada here in the 4th.
Well, both pitchers, after a kind of a rough start, able to settle down. Doing a nice job mixing their pitches. Well, you figure that the first start of the year. Neither one of them have been with their respective teams very long. Estrada just got here. Minor got here Sunday.
Matt Young takes a strike. Both clubs with starting pitchers on the disabled list. The Brewers are hoping Jair Jurgens, who's nursing an oblique injury, will return soon. Nice and easy for Gomez, and nice and easy for Estrada in the 4th. 1, 2, 3. The Braves go in order.
Bottom of the 4th inning, time for us to check in the crew of the community. The Brewers Community Achievers Program recognizes volunteers, philanthropists, and other heroes in the community that have helped their neighborhoods in extraordinary ways. The winner of the award will receive 4 game tickets, on-field acknowledgement, and the opportunity to throw out our ceremonial first pitch. You can nominate your community achiever at Brewers.com right now, Brian.
All right, Telly, thanks. Prince Fielder leading off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Responsible for the 2 runs on the board as Minor misses with a fastball. 1-1 to Prince. A 2 RBI single in the 1st. His first runs batted in of the season, and hopefully a harbinger of things to come for Fielder. Usually when he gets locked in, he'll put up some big numbers for a long stretch of time.
Yeah, they come in bunches for the big fella.
The 1-2 pitch.
Yep, the home runs, the RBIs. He'll go maybe a week to 10 days, you know. Really not driving in a ton of runs, but then he'll go for a stretch of about 2 weeks, 3 weeks that they can't get him out.
That one's hit hard into center field. A base hit. Fielder has had some of his best at-bats of the season against lefties.
Well, left-handers will tell you that they don't try and do too much. lefty versus lefty. They concentrate more on staying closed and driving the ball up the middle into the opposite field. Sometimes against right-handers, they try to muscle up and hit the home runs. Check that out. I mean, look at the balance for Prince Fielder. That pitch on the left that you saw right there, that the way he stays down and through the baseball and gets good extension, hits that ball out in front.
4 of his 5 hits this year against left-handed pitching. Fielder is aboard for Casey McGee.
Well, you talk about being streaky, home run hitters, big RBI guys. I mean, most of them are, streaky. I mean, it's not unusual. Prince is not alone in that regard.
Slow roller out to Jones, and he makes the play for the out. Fielder advances to second. Chipper Jones just so smooth. He seems like he just always knows exactly how much time he has.
Well, he positions himself very well. We talked about he doesn't move around as well as he used to, but he knows hitters. He knows where his pitchers are going to be working hitters and adjust his position accordingly. Never seems to panic. He still has the good arm and the quick release. He might not get to as many baseballs as he used to, but if he can get his glove on him, more times than not, he's going to get the out.
1 gone. Fielder out at second. Here is Almonte. He swung at the first pitch. His last time up, Minor was in trouble in that first. Almonte grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning.
He hit it right on the nose, though. I mean, that was a bullet that he hit to Alex Gonzalez and turned into a tailor-made double play.
33 years of age. Quite a comeback story for Almonte. 8 years between stints in the big leagues. And a foul ball. It's 0-2. Almonte homered in Cincinnati in his first start, and it was 8 years to the day from his last home run in the big leagues, which came as a member of the New York Yankees back in 03, April 2nd. Not necessarily a home run hitter, even though he has good power. Take you back to day 2 last Saturday. Almonte unloading on Travis Wood on a night when there wasn't much going on against Travis Wood.
Yeah. 8 years to the day. He can't wait for 2019.
You've been ciphering on that one for a little bit.
Yeah, I did. I had to do some. I didn't remember what year it was.
He ran out of fingers.
Yeah. Not supposed to be giving away my secrets.
All right. There's smoke coming out of your ears over here.
Fingers, counting fingers.
Well, this particular count is what impressed Ron Renicky so much during spring training. Almonte's ability to swing with 2 strikes, shorten up, use the opposite field. That one's to the opposite field. He just got under it. Hayward is back. Fielder tags, and he will not challenge the arm of Jason Hayward. Good choice. 2 outs in the inning. AT&T trivia. 3 players have played for the Milwaukee Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers, and I want to see if you can name them. We gave you one, Hank Aaron, but how about Felipe Alou and Phil Roof? That's the one that'll trick you, the Phil Roof question.
Catcher.
The Braves left Milwaukee after the '65 season, their first year in Atlanta in '66. Just so unusual to look down there in that Braves dugout and not see Bobby Cox.
Right, it is. He was there so long, so much success.
Freddie Gonzalez on the staff of Bobby Cox for a number of years before he left for Miami to manage the Florida Marlins. Two outs, 2-0 to Betancourt. And it's into left field, a base hit. Fielder will score easily. Betancourt on his way to second. And it's an RBI double for the Brewers shortstop. 3-1 Milwaukee.
Yeah, get off to a slow start in Cincinnati. He was hitless in the series. But starting to swing it now. That's what we saw from Betancourt in spring training. A changeup down in the zone, not a bad pitch. I think McCann would have preferred it to be away a little bit more, but Betancourt goes down and gets it and hooks it down the left field line for a nice 2-out double for an RBI. Another good at bat by the Brewers shortstop.
So 2 hits in the inning, a 2-out run producing hit, and it's 3-1 Crew. Nieves will be intentionally walked, which will bring up the pitcher Estrada with a couple of men on base. Well, those 2-out hits that produce runs, they can be a killer to the opposition. Did Marco Estrada actually walk towards the on-deck circle without a bat? It's possible.
Doesn't show much confidence in Will, does it? And then he realized, hey, they're walking him.
So, through the magic of videotape, Ron Renicky says, go up there and get a hit. Okay, I'm not better to get a bat first. What a game.
You can't hide from the cameras around here.
No.
Right? One little slip up.
That's funny.
It's good stuff.
Well, we'll see if he can use that bat. Now, does a guy like Marco Estrada have his own bats? I mean, he's got to go to the lumber yard, doesn't he?
Yeah, pro model.
The pro.
You know, the stock bats.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them in that bat rack. I guess would be no.
Doesn't seem like a guy that would travel his own bats. But you never know.
Get a couple of big league hits, you might get your own bat.
May get your signature on your bat. Ooh, just missed. An excellent eye by Marco Estrada. I think he might do some damage here. Or not. Down he goes. Mike Minor strikes out Estrada, but the Brewers add to their lead. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB fan guide. Compliments of Scott's.
And tonight's Town of the Game winner is Champion Sports Bar and Grill in Green Bay. If they call the Brewers, In the next 24 hours at 902-4572, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Mike Minor, the Braves pitcher, will lead off this 5th inning. Marco Estrada settled down nicely. Had a shaky first. There was a great throw by Carlos Gomez to cut down Chipper Jones at home plate. Changed the complexion of that first inning a little bit. Estrada left 2 on in the 2nd inning. And he picks up a strikeout on Minor. Nice block back there by Nieves. 1 gone here in the 5th. And want to remind you that you can join Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association in helping Japan's children in need. Visit unicef.org or text Japan to 864-233 to donate $10. Standard text messaging and transactional fees apply. And for more information, visit MLB.com/JapanRelief. Certainly want to encourage you to get on board with us and help the relief effort over in Japan. Prado was Estrada's first strikeout victim. Right off his glove, got a piece. Ricky Weeks. And it'll go as a 1-4-3 putout for out number 2.
Hey, for just $16, get 1 Terrace Reserve ticket to select Wednesday Brewer games and 1 2011 adult admission ticket to the Harley-Davidson Museum. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com/HD Museum.
I remember we did a game from there a couple of years ago.
The museum?
No, that shot Michael Odino was showing, the Harley Davidson deck.
That's right. Some nice looking rides up there. Good food.
A little slow roller. Nieves will make sure it stays foul.
Now the Brewers holiday party this year was at the Harley Davidson Museum. That was a cool place. Easy to get to from downtown. Right down 6th Street.
That's a great destination. A combo meal for you. You know, you come to Milwaukee, catch a Brewers game, go to the Harley Davidson Museum, close by. Maybe take a tour of the Miller Lite facility. That's a Milwaukee kind of day right there.
That's the last one you stop to.
Yeah,
stop
that's
at.
right.
They give you from samples over there.
Freddie Freeman up with 2 gone, and he fouls it away. The Braves are very high on Freeman. Big prospect. He and Jason Hayward were the 2 prized position player prospects coming up through their system. Freeman, a 1st-round draft pick, or check that, a 2nd rounder in 07. Hayward was the 1st pick in 07. And then Freeman. And then Brandon Hicks. So all 3 of those guys in the big leagues from that 07 draft. Got him. Estrada strikes him out with a fastball. And Marco Estrada is rolling along here, giving the Brewers just what they needed tonight. 3-1 Brew Crew. They're coming to bat in the bottom of the Park, Milwaukee on a Wednesday night. Top of the order coming up for the Brewers against Mike Minor, and a 3-1 Brewer lead. The Braves have actually out-hit Milwaukee at this point, 5-4. But some big RBIs today. Fielder drove in a pair of the first. Yudesky Betancourt drove in a run with 2 outs in the 4th inning. On the ground, a hot one gets by Chipper Jones. And Weeks hustling out of the box, thinking about 2. He'll hold up. So Ricky Weeks is aboard. He stung the ball tonight.
Yeah, another solid contact for Ricky. A bullet his last time up, caught in center. And that one hopper right by Chipper Jones. That's a base hit. Ate him up. They call it the hot corner for a reason. You don't have much time to react. That ball coming up and off the thumb.
So Gomez is up there with Weeks at first. And we'll see if Ron Renicky has any action on here. Gomez fouls it away. Dale Swaim trying to get Carlos Gomez back on top of the baseball, trying to get him to hit the top half.
Pulling off a little bit once the season has started. Didn't do much of that during spring training. When you have that slight uppercut in your swing, it's very tough to get on top of a high fastball. Low fastballs, no problem. But that pitch at the belt or just a little bit below, very difficult to square up on.
There goes Weeks. Gomez into left field, a base hit. And Ricky thought about making the turn. That's the way you do it. Hit and run's not a bad option with a struggling hitter. And Gomez delivers with a base hit. 2 on now with nobody out to start this 5th inning.
Gomez loves the ball in on him. You can't throw it too far in on him for him to be able to get a piece of it. That pitcher's about 3 inches off the inside corner. Check it out. If he doesn't hit that ball, it might hit him in the hands. Just pulls those hips open. And when you're pulling off the ball a little bit and they throw you inside, they're doing you a favor.
Gomez having a nice night. He's impacted this game defensively already. And now a hit to go along with a walk. 2 on for Braun. The Brewers trying to add to this 3-1 lead. And just the threat of the first to third. Had Prado with a bobble in left field.
Yeah, he bobbled it after Ricky decided to stop. Too late to take off again.
That reputation is getting out there that the Brewers are going to be looking to stretch it out. Of course, the Braves, just like every other team, sending scouts to prepare for the Brewers. Saw them all spring. So in one sense, that is a goal accomplished already. You got outfielders taking a peek. Braun in the air to left. Didn't get it. Prado is back. And that is the first out. Ryan almost just a fraction of an inch on the bat. It's our carsoup.com email the booth question. Rick in Wauwatosa wants to know how many different pitchers do most starters have? How many different pitches, I should say.
Yeah, 3 basically. Yeah, 3 pitches. Some have 4. But you have to define pitches. Now, if you throw a fastball, if you throw a sinker and a cutter and a 4-seamer, that's 3 pitches right there, right? It's not just a fastball. You throw a breaking ball 2 different speeds, that's not just 1 curveball, that's 2 curveballs.
It's like a pitching tree. You know, you have branches of each leaf.
Well done. That's exactly right.
And if you're Roy Halladay, the pitches are endless. Fielder down the line, slicing, foul. Brent's with 2 hits tonight. Against lefties this year, he's 4 for 7. 4 of his 5 hits this season. Drove in 2 in the first. A couple of big runs out there right now. The Brewers would love to tack a few on. Back up the middle, and it's under the glove of Gonzalez. Weeks around third. Here he comes. The throw goes to third. Everybody's safe. Weeks scores the run. And it's 4-1, and Fielder is having one of those days.
Yep, everything back through the middle into the opposite field. How about Carlos Gomez making it to third base on that? You kidding me or what? Ricky, you know he was going to score, but for Gomez to get to third base on that, boy, that's some kind of speed. Good instincts. He cut the corner at second base and reduced the distance he had to go. Not too many guys are going to be able to make third on that, but how about Prince Fielder tonight?
3 runs batted in on 3 hits, and that will do it for Mike Minor. A pitching change will set up the new hurler when we continue.
Beautiful approach with the left-handed pitcher out there. You know, 2 RBIs to left field his first time up, and look at that, right back through the middle for Prince Fielder. That's how left-handers attack left-handed pitching. You pull that front shoulder, you don't have much of a chance. But check out Gomez. Look how quickly he turns second base and gets to third. You knew Ricky was going to score. That's a long throw in the center field, but it's amazing how Gomez is able to get to third on a ball to center like that. Man.
It's a big play because with 1 out, Gomez now at third base. Opportunity of a sacrifice fly, perhaps. The new pitcher is Christian Martinez. So Minor is out 4 1/3. Martinez takes over. First and third, 1 out, and Casey McGee coming up. Second appearance of the season for Martinez.
Yeah, basically sinker slider pitcher. Martinez had some time with the Braves last year. 18 games, all out of the bullpen. He's got a live arm.
Little half swing, bouncer. Gomez coming to the plate. The throw is in time. Gomez trying to run over McCann.
Yeah, I think if he slides, he's safe.
Yep, he didn't realize Martinez had bobbled.
If he slides normally, even head first, and maybe slides to the foul part of home plate, he's going to be safe. But for whatever reason, he feels as though he's got to run him over. And any contact like that, you're going to be called out. So I guess not realizing that Martinez bobbled the baseball cost the Brewers a run. And you can't blame Gomez. He has his head down and trying to get there as fast as he can.
So McGee will reach on a fielder's choice. Another out at the plate in this series for Milwaukee. And we'll have a pinch hitter here. Mark Kotze will hit for Eric Almonte. 2 outs, first and second. Kotze is still looking for his first hit. This would be a big spot for it. He's 0 for 9 on the young season. The Brewers had 2 base runners thrown out at home plate in the same inning yesterday, which is a rare sight. Kotze, and that is going to get by Uggla. Base hit. Here comes Prince. Hayward's got a gun. The throw to the plate. Fielder in there. McGee will advance.
I tell you, that's one tough customer at the home plate right there. Brian McCann, knowing Prince Fielder's coming after you. I don't think there was ever any contact, and that's why Prince was called safe. Umpires do not require a catcher to actually tag a runner. If there's contact on a collision play at home plate, I don't blame Brian McCann for creeping up into fair territory with Prince coming in like that. He never touched him. And that's a good call by the home plate umpire.
Oh,
actually, you know what? Actually, he did just on the side on that angle. That was a good angle. It didn't look like it first time.
The Brewers catch a big break. Looked like McCann got the tag on him, but he was certainly recoiling from contact, which you can understand with Big Prince churning in on you. But McCann got the tag on him.
More times than not, you're going to hold your ground, but I tell you, if I'm Brian McCann, I'd do the same thing.
So the Brewers catch a break. Maybe the worm is turning here. It seemed like all the breaks were going against Milwaukee through the first 4 days. And just a great look from our Foxmo technology, and there's the tag. And
you know, in the super slow motion on the other angle, it looks as though McCann got Prince right on the thigh, ever so slightly, but Bill Miller didn't see it. Good base running by Casey McGee to get to third base.
And here's Betancourt, who's had a good night at the plate. 2 hits, an RBI. 5-1 Milwaukee. Betancourt a chance to add on.
You know, the other thing I think that spooked McCann a little bit, did you see where Prince was running? He was running in fair territory. In other words, saying, you know what, big boy, here I come. A lot of guys are going to run and try and go into foul territory and maybe do a slide and grab it with the hand, but not Prince. Prince coming in there saying, batten down the hatches, McCann, I'm coming. Yeah, most guys are going to be coming out in this angle right here. Look at Prince saying, you want me? Come get me.
Self-preservation. Didn't Prince, he knocked out a catcher a few years back. Was that
Green, Todd
Green? That's right.
Colorado.
Knocked him out cold. 1-2 on Betancourt. Stays alive. But it's interesting, though, there's 2 plays at the plate here where, you know, Brewers base runners are expecting contact, looking for contact. Gomez was out. Fielder tagged out, but called safe. On the ground to Gonzalez, and the side is retired. The Brewers catch a break. They score 2. Fielder drives in his 3rd. And it's 5-1 Milwaukee. Seen a lot of plays at the plate here tonight. Excitement at the by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. Marcotte stays in. He'll play right field. After delivering his first hit as a Brewer, it produced a run. And play at the plate with Fielder and McCann, and Rock brought it up between innings that McCann a little gun shy at the plate, but you can understand why. He suffered a concussion in a collision at the plate, and we did a little research. It was back in '08. Shane Victorino ran him over, and you can understand. Now this is the play in real time, and Bill Miller was in the perfect spot to make the call, but he missed it. To the Brewers' good fortune.
Yeah, it's hard to fault the umpire if he called it either way. It happened so fast, so much going on in a very short amount of time. McCann going up, trying to get out of the way of Prince, who looked as though he was going after him. And why not? I mean, that's the job of the runner.
You can really, when you play it back in full speed in real time, it's a bit of a challenge. There's a base hit by Chipper Jones, so his second hit of the game. And now the story becomes Marco Estrada and how long he'll be able to continue in this one.
And I think the Brewers are in bonus time with Estrada out there. I think they'd have been very happy with 5 innings. But he's only at 70 pitches right now. He's got a 4-run lead, and we're in the 6th. So good job so far by Estrada.
Now this will be the big part of the batting order to get through, with Jones, McCann, and Uggla. 3, 4, and 5 in that Atlanta batting order. McCann with 2 hits shatters his bat in 4 or 5 pieces.
They split right down the middle. That's what happens with those cupped bats when you're out in front. Obviously out in front of a big changeup by Estrada. Looks like a Jimmy Reese fungo bat now. Jimmy Reese, a longtime Angels coach, and used to cut his bats right down the middle. He didn't like the fungo. They were too long, so he kind of cut the barrel in half and hit fungos with it.
Hit it with a flat side?
Yeah.
So McCann, a new piece of lumber. Brewers would love to get a ground ball here to turn up 2. And McCann with his 3rd hit. So back-to-back singles, Jones and McCann. Well, what a hitter he is.
Yeah. And Estrada doubled up with a changeup. This time McCann able to wait back long enough and hit it hard into right field. You have so much confidence in that pitch, and that's the changeup for Marco Estrada, that you don't mind doubling up on it, throwing it back-to-back times. Not many pitchers will do that with a changeup.
Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, making a call to the bullpen. And we'll see if Renicky gives Estrada one more hitter. It's a dangerous one at that. Atlanta's key off-season acquisition, Dan Uggla. 2 on, nobody out to start this 6th inning. And he got under one. Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez. Gomez wants it. Infield fly rule was called. And the out goes to Gomez. So 1 gone, and Uggla retired, and a big out for Estrada.
Yeah, thank you very much. That pitch was about neck high, and Uggla got under it. You know, you were talking about the Braves are a team that hunts fastballs.
Quick trip to the mound for Nieves.
What that means is when they see a fastball early in the count, they're not taking it. When they see one they like, they're going after it. A lot of teams will be a little bit more patient. They'll take it, work the count a little bit. But you know, these guys, they see a fastball they like, they're gonna go to hacking.
Now it's Hayward. Little off speed to start him off. Will Nieves said as much before the game. He felt Estrada would be a good matchup for the Atlanta Braves because of that fact. He has a changeup that he commands well.
which is a very good pitch against a lineup of very aggressive hitters.
I think the same would apply for the Brewers offensively as well. A pitcher like Estrada against a lineup like Milwaukee's. The Jorge Campillos of the world. That one's hit well. Hayward sends it way back and gone, and that's what you're afraid of. A quick strike for Atlanta. Jason Hayward with his second home run. It's a 3-run shot. And the Braves are within a run now.
2-0 fastball. You just can't do that. You can't put yourself in a position when you're throwing 89 to 90 miles an hour. Hayward got one down in the zone, golfed it out of here. It was a bullet. 88 miles an hour down the middle. You could see Jason Hayward did not miss it. Sitting fastball, got fastball, and a line drive home run.
Bases empty, one gone, and it's Alex Gonzalez. Boy, how big are those runs for the Brewers in the bottom of the 5th. And now that call at home plate looming larger. Got the corner. And it's 1-2 on Alex Gonzalez. This could be Estrada's last hitter. Renicky has Braddock, the lefty, ready in the bullpen. Left-handed hitter coming up next. Gonzalez singled in the second. He grounded out his last time up. That one's hit well center field, but Gomez is right there, and it's out number 2.
Yeah, got it in on him just enough to keep it in the ballpark. Well, he burned off that outside corner for that 2-strike pitch, and that got Gonzalez thinking a little bit. That's why he was able to jam him with that last pitch.
So the left-hander Young coming up after Hayward's 3-run homer makes it a 1-run game, and Estrada will stay. It's one of the things Rick Kranitz was talking about before the game, the fact that Atlanta counters with all these left-handers, which in some ways plays into the strength of Estrada with his changeup. Quickly 0-2.
Changeup has been a big pitch for him, but he hasn't been often in a 2-0 count with these big hitters. He's forced to throw the fastball, and these guys know it. Look out.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Estrada finishes off the inning, gives up a big shot to Hayward. But Marco Estrada 6 strong. Hayward's home run makes it a 5-4 Milwaukee lead. Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Airtran, go, there's nothing stopping you. And by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle, taste greatness. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors showcases the ultimate in outdoor programming. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, experience everything from the pursuit of fish and game to exploring the best weekend destinations. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors, presented by Menards. Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 8 a.m. only on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Bernie's ready to slide up there. 5-4, a tight one now as Jason Hayward delivers a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. Will Nieves leads off. The pitcher spot coming up next. Looks like Jeremy Reed will hit for Estrada. So 8, 9, and 1 due up. Christian Martinez back on the mound. He came in relief of Mike Minor and got the final 2 outs of the inning. Mike Minor finishes with 4 1/3 innings, 5 earned runs. And at this point on the hook for the loss. Marco Estrada in line for the win. Nieves into right field, and it's Hayward who wants it. 1 gone. Well, Estrada will be pinch hit for. Jeremy Reed will come in. Estrada goes 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs all earned, and I think gave Ron Renicky and the Brewers everything and maybe more that they could have asked for.
Very close to having a tremendous outing had it not been for that 2-0 fastball that Hayward hit out of the ballpark.
Reed breaks his bat, and Ugla makes a play, 2 outs.
And I think if you were to tell Ron Renicky that Estrada would go 6 innings and the Brewers would have a lead when he left, I think he'd be happy if you told him that before the game.
And now the Brewers will depend on their bullpen to take them the rest of the way. Two gone, top of the order. Here's Weeks. Brewers have had a good night offensively. 8 hits. Fielder has 3 of those 8 hits, and he's driven in 3 of the 5 runs. Weeks singled his last time up. He has scored twice. There's a hit, a walk, and a line drive out. And it was a bullet into center field. Walked him. 2-out walk. And it'll be Carlos Gomez.
Hey, that Martinez fastball has some good life on it too. He doesn't throw very hard. He'll get it up there at about 89 to 90, but had some good sink on it. A good take by Ricky for his 2nd walk tonight.
So it's Gomez who can keep a good night going here. Gomez has a hit. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. He scored a run. And you can tell by his uniform he's been active tonight. Threw out a base runner at the plate, Chipper Jones, in the 1st inning. And a couple of nice catches as well in center field. Lifted to center. Young makes the catch, and the side retire. The Brewers strand a base runner. We go to the 7th inning. A tight one at Miller Park. The Braves 5-4, top of the 7th inning. And if you're just joining us, our Toyota game summary. Prince Fielder with 3 hits, all against the left-handed starter Mike Minor. He's driven in 3 runs. Hayward had a 3-run homer last inning that tightened this one up. Betancourt with a couple of hits and an RBI as well. Marco Estrada is out 6 innings. He leaves with a chance to win, and the Brewers will give it to the bullpen the rest of the way. First up is Zach Braddock.
Yep, one of 2 left-handers in Ron Renicke's bullpen. Mitch Stetter the other last year in 46 appearances. A .294 earned run average, a 1-2 record. So far this year, 2 scoreless appearances for Zach Braddock.
So Braddock on to work the 7th, and he'll face a pinch hitter to start it, Brandon Hicks. So Freddie Gonzalez going with the matchup here with Hicks. Nine 1-2 due up for Atlanta. Hicks had a good cut.
Now, Zach was a big-time strikeout pitcher a year ago in 33 2/3 innings last year. Struck out 41 batters. That's good work. Fastball, slider, throws hard. Velocity starting to come back for Braddock. A little bit down in spring training. But if you put a fastball there, you don't have to throw 96. 90's just fine right on that outside corner.
No balls, 2 strikes on Brandon Hicks. Buried one. Hicks didn't chase it. Got it by him a little bit. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. A lot of baseball going on today around the league. The Cardinals lost earlier today. Pittsburgh beat them 3-1. Pittsburgh's 4-2 to start the season. And the Pirates beat Chris Carpenter today.
Yeah, that's rare.
Kevin Correa is 2-0 for the Buccos. Breaking ball over to McGee. And 1 gone in the Atlanta 7th. The Brewers will see the Pirates on the next road trip. Neil Walker hit another homer today. His 2nd. Hit a grand slam against the Cubs last week. The Cubs lost to the Diamondbacks today. Arizona won 6-4. Dempster now 0-2. He's struggling to start the season. Cincinnati's been the hottest team in the division and the league, and they are leading 10-4 right now over the Astros. Cincinnati is 4-0 and looks like they're headed to 5-0. They're in the bottom of the 8th with a 6-run lead.
Texas won again today.
Yeah, how about the Rangers? That's quite a story.
6-0.
7-3 win today. CJ Wilson beat Felix the Cat, the Cy Young Award winner, Felix Hernandez. That's some kind of offense in Arlington.
Did you check out the American League East standings right now? Baltimore 4-0.
Yeah.
The Red Sox haven't won yet.
No, and they're losing tonight. Indians have a 7-4 lead over Boston.
All the money they spent and all the upgrades that they made to that offense. Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford.
Prado sends one in the air. Braun wants it. He's got it. 2 outs. Well, the series continues tomorrow. Miller Lite, what's on tap? No television tomorrow. You can catch it on Brewers radio. Final game of the series with the Braves, and then the Cubs come to town Friday. We're on WMLW Friday night, Fox Sports Wisconsin over the weekend. And you heard Rick Schlesinger say tickets are available for Fridays and Sundays games. Saturday will be a sellout. Rick pointing out that it will be a heavy Brewer fan base against the Cubs, which is a little bit of a shift. So there are not many Illinois zip codes purchasing tickets this time around, at least for this first series.
Yeah, and that's good.
Players love that. They don't want to hear Cubs fans at Miller Park.
Of course, there's a lot of Brewers fans at Wrigley.
Yes. And you can't blame Cubs fans for wanting to experience this beautiful ballpark with so much space to walk around and enjoy yourself. Fastball up the ladder. Freeman taking a hack. Talk about hunting a fastball. That's what Rock's talking about.
Hunting a fastball head high.
Ball and 2 strikes.
Never met a fastball he didn't like, right?
Freeman's 0 for 3. Braddock trying to finish him off. Well, he hung in there pretty well on that pitch.
A lot easier to get to a fastball that's down in the zone, particularly for a left-hander. Right-handers too, but lefties like it down there, than it is a high fastball. You got to start the bat a lot sooner to get to a high fastball than you do for a low fastball.
See what he has in mind for him. 1 and 2. And a slider down in the dirt.
Look at Nieves going at it, huh?
I knew you were going to bring that up. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Just in case he swings.
He gets out there, is as quick as anybody behind home plate. Watch how far off the outside corner he is. Look at him straddling the right-hander's batter's box.
Nice. Textbook. Another 2-strike pitch. Freeman under this one. Well, you can think along with the catcher Nieves here. Freeman has not been able to square up the fastball. You figure a good slider can get him out, but do you run the risk of going to a full count? Broke his bat. Kotze. 3 up, 3 down for Zach Braddock. Braun, Fielder, and McGee coming up.
Going in the bottom of the 7th inning. David and Craig getting set for Brewers Live postgame. Might have a lot to talk about with Prince Fielder. Offensively back on track. 3 hits so far, 3 RBIs. He's due up second this inning.
Well, what Prince has done, he's really been able to hit the ball the other way and through the middle against the left-hander and just really taken what the pitcher is giving him.
So Prince is hot. The Brewers are hot. They have the lead right now. This one, of course, going down to crunch time as well. Full post-game reaction, including the instructional as well. bunting for a base hit. Plenty more to come following the ball game on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brian and Bill.
All right, Craig, Davey, thank you. Looking forward to Brewers Live following the game, and hopefully a good news Brewers Live tonight. The left-hander Eric O'Flaherty on the pitch for Atlanta. Ryan Braun leads off, and one pitch and one out for O'Flaherty. So Fielder will face yet another left-hander, which isn't such a bad thing this year. All three of those hits against a lefty at the plate, presented by Wendy's for Prince Fielder tonight. 3 runs driven in.
Yeah, 4th appearance for O'Flaherty this year. Has not allowed a run in 2 2/3 innings. Appeared against the Brewers yesterday through a scoreless inning and a third.
Prince beat that shift in the first inning, slapped one to left field for a 2 RBI single. A lot of defensive maneuvering in this series between the Brewers and the Braves. That one is hit deep to left, not deep enough. Prado's got it. Must have just missed it on the bat.
Yep, got it in on him just a bit. Didn't get good extension on it, but it sounded good. Well, go to Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the Instant 4-pack. Buy 2 Terrace Reserve seats, get 2 free. Offer good for select games with your Instant 4-pack coupon, only from Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
So 2 gone, and it's Casey McGee. McGee looking for his first hit. He's been on twice on Fielder's choices. Five for 22 on the season. McGee has 3 runs batted in. All 3 of those RBIs came in the Cincinnati series. Down the right field line, slicing foul in the seats. McGee was up yesterday in the 8th inning. It was his base hit in the 8th that led to the throw out at home plate. And remember, Ryan Braun was gunned down by Martin Prado. Typically Braun would score on a base hit like that, but Ryan didn't see it right away last night. He had to freeze for a minute to make sure the baseball cleared the infield, and then he wasn't able to get it started to score. And it was a very good throw by Prado.
Right. It was a jam shot off of Casey's bat, and Brawny had to wait for it to get over the head of the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez.
That one is hit well, but right at Prado. So the Brewers big boys go down, and now the Braves best 3 hitters are coming up in the 8th.
Once again at Miller Park, and it is going to be once again cool outside the stadium. First pitch temperature right around 44, but we'll have sunshine mixed in with a couple of clouds. Winds east 7 to 14 miles per hour.
And another day when the roof will be closed, you can guarantee. Nice and comfy inside Miller Park. The finale of the series tomorrow. The Brewers are hoping to set themselves up for a series win. 5-4 lead, 8th inning, and it's Cameron Lowe who gets the setup role here tonight.
He's only given up the 1 run. That was a home run to Joey Votto in Cincinnati.
Chipper Jones on the first pitch, and Lowe has his first man out of the 8th. Big bat dodge there. Our Ho Chunk Gaming text question is Chipper Jones a legitimate candidate for the Hall of Fame? Asks David from Racine.
Got to believe he is.
I would say so.
One of the best all-time switch hitters.
He's 3rd on the list, as a matter of fact, all-time home runs by a switch hitter. Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray, and Chipper Jones. Jones has 436 career homers. And as you see, just 3 hits away from 2,500. And a World Series winner and an MVP. I would say he is certainly headed to the Hall of Fame. Well, this is the key part of the batting order. No question about it. Jones, McCann, and Uggla, who have combined for 5 hits tonight, 5 of the 8 Atlanta hits. Uggla is 0 for 3 tonight, while McCann has 3 hits. And the shifting continues. Got him.
Nasty, isn't it?
Wow. Some kind of movement from Cameron Lowe.
Boy, the way he's throwing that sinker, it's wonder why he even messes around with that breaking pitch. Look at the way that pitch just dives away from McCann as it gets to home plate. That's unhittable. He puts it there.
2 outs. Jones and McCann retired. Now it's Uggla, whose home run here on Thursday gave the Braves a late lead, an 8th inning home run, and a lead they would not give up.
Outfield deep, trying to prevent against the extra base hit. Keep him out of scoring position.
Peter Moylan preparing for the 9th, or rather for the bottom of the 8th. 5-4 Milwaukee. Brewers had a 5-1 lead. And a swing and a miss from Uggla.
Drops off the table, that fastball. Looks like a splitter. It looks like a split-fingered fastball the way it comes in and just dives as it gets to the hitting area.
1-2 to Uggla. Big pitch coming for Cameron Lowe. Good idea. That's the other part of his game. Has a good slider, especially when you put it next to the sinker. Very similar to what we saw in Derek Lowe yesterday. Different spelling on the last name. Ooh, just missed.
You see the way Cameron Lowe stands tall up there, has that downward plane. We're throwing that baseball basically straight down. That's how he gets that good sink. When he gets on top of the baseball with his fingers, he'll get that natural movement.
3-2 down the line. McGee's got it. Long throw across the diamond is in time. Casey McGee makes the play, and the Brewers are out of the inning. 1-2-3 as Cameron Lowe delivers. 5-4 Milwaukee. What a ball game tonight at Miller Park. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Milwaukee 5-4. The Brewers lead the Braves in game 3 of this 4-game series. And O'Flaherty is back on the mound. Mark Kotsay batting for the second time. Delivered his first hit as a Brewer. It was an RBI single in the 5th. Well, Cameron Lowe, nice job in the 8th. 1-2-3 inning. Axford preparing for the 9th.
Tough 3 hitters he had to get through.
Made it look easy. Jones, McCann, and Ugla. Excellent play by Casey McGee over at third base. He was guarding that line anyway. Rocky pointed it out to prevent the
no doubles
extra base hit.
Guard the lines in the corners and you play deep in the outfield.
Kotsay to the opposite field. A base hit. Nothing like a little confidence. 2 hits tonight for Mark Kotsay. Rock, how about the defense in this game? The Home Depot doing more on defense.
Well, Carlos Gomez able to make a nice throw to get Chipper Jones in the 1st inning. Going back on a ground ball. Well, Brian McCann with a sweep tag and able to get Gomez trying to score on a comebacker, and Case McGee playing on the line. The no doubles defense taking away extra bases from Dan Ugla.
Pitching change. Freddie Gonzalez will make the call to the pen. Peter Moreland coming in. We'll set him up when we come back. As Eric O'Flaherty is out after giving up a hit to Mark Kotsay. Now it's Peter Moreland. 4th appearance of the season.
Well, this guy's put up some terrific numbers over the last few years. 80+ appearances in 2 consecutive years, 09 and 2010.
Got 3 outs on Thursday. Did not give up a run. Kotsay at first. Betancourt will bat. Betancourt's had a nice night. 2 hits. He drove in a run with a double in the 4th. And it was a 2-out RBI hit in the 4th inning.
I thought maybe you might see Betancourt try and drop down a bunt. You've got Nieves coming up and then a pinch hitter. Try to get that insurance run in the 9th. We'll see.
Kotsay takes off. Hit and run is on. Ugla makes the play to second. He's out at second, out at first.
Wow.
Acrobatic play by Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop.
Well, very fortunate for the Brewers. A nice hit and run by Betancourt. You can't do it much better than that. Katse taking off. Betancourt hit it hard behind him, but just hit it right at Ugla, who was covering the bag. Oh, that's just some bad luck by Betancourt. Nice job of adjusting to the baseball by Ugla. The backhand shovel pass and an easy double play was hit so hard. Our Jimmy John delivery of the game, a double play for the Braves here in the 8th.
Oh, what a move by Gonzalez. What a great shot. Nieves to the right side. That's going to sneak through a base hit. And Will Nieves is aboard. It will keep the inning alive. And it'll give Ron Renicky a chance to go to his bench.
Good piece of hitting by Will Nieves, taking a fastball away into right field. Keeping the inning alive.
Listen to this hand as Nyjer Morgan was announced. And Brewers fans like what they see in Nyjer Morgan. Had a great day yesterday, 3 hits.
We can say one thing for the Brewer outfield. They have 2 pretty exciting center fielders, don't they? Make things happen.
Morgan tripled yesterday, got the start in center field and hit second, was 3 for 4. Not in the starting lineup tonight with the left-hander Mike Minor on the mound for Atlanta. I think the bench players know they're going to get their chances each and every night with Ron Renicky. He's not afraid to empty out that bench.
Yeah, he's already gone through 3 tonight. 2 left. Kataris and Counsell.
Two balls and a strike. Ed Cedar going through the signs in the box. Ideal hit and run count if you were so inclined. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Nieves stays put, and it's ball 3. So Morgan ahead in the count. Top of the order coming up next. You can figure that Morgan's going to get something good to hit. Ricky Weeks is waiting in the on-deck circle. Looks like he was taken all the way. 3-2 now.
Just trying to get on base to bring Ricky to the plate.
And now Nieves will get the head start, which could be big if Morgan can find one down in the corner. There he goes. The pitch swung on and ripped under the glove of Ugla. Here comes Nieves around second. He'll stop at third. Nyjer Morgan keeps his hitting ways going.
Yep, becoming a crowd favorite, isn't he? Boy, he can hit. Moreland a sinker down in the zone, and Morgan just drops the head on it and bangs it just out of the reach of Dan Ugla. Off to a nice start to his Brewers career.
I guess so. 5 for 9. 4 hits in the last 2 games for Nyjer Morgan.
Check it out. He was down in the zone and trying to get away from Morgan, but stayed in the middle part of the plate. Hits it hard. Let's see if Morgan tries to steal a base.
Ricky Weeks at the plate with 2 gone. Ooh, Morgan slipped and just did get back.
And had a huge lead. That's a big old lead right there.
Weeks has been on base 3 times. 2 walks, a single, and a line out. Big spot. The Brewers would love to add to it. 5-4 Milwaukee, bottom of the 8th. And there's a strike from Moylan right to the bottom of the strike zone. George Sherrill loosening.
Well, you know who he's getting ready for.
Prince Fielder is down in the hold right now. A little 2-out spark. The third hit of the inning. Morgan's single. A double play wiped out Kotze's base hit. But then back-to-back hits with 2 away. And Weeks chased. 0-2 now on Ricky Weeks.
Man, this would be a perfect time for Nyjer Morgan to take off, maybe try and steal a run. Big sweeping slider from Moylan. Take off early, getting a run down, see if you can make something happen. Why not?
Great speed at first. Below average speed over at third. Morgan started and stopped. You hardly ever see that play work, but it was about as close to working as you can have it right there.
Yeah, Braves thinking the same thing I am up here. And that's scary.
Morgan was on the run. 0-2 to Weeks. He stays put, and Weeks lays off. It's a pretty good gamble. If it's a fastball, Weeks will probably be swinging anyway, but typically Moylan been going with a breaking ball with 2 strikes. And McCann's going to have a tough time throwing out Morgan on a breaking ball. 1-2. There he goes. The pitch swung on and missed. Inning over. The Brewers strand 2. Failed to score on 3 hits. And here comes the Axeman for a save opportunity. John Axford, his first opportunity at a save here at Miller Park. And he's been waiting a long time to get back on the mound, nearly a week since his blown save in Cincinnati to start the season. He did have one other appearance in Cincinnati, but now Axford trying to save a 5-4 ball game for Marco Estrada. Nigel Morgan stays in. He'll play right field, taking over for Mark Kotsay. Jason Hayward will lead off. He hit a 3-run homer in the 6th inning to make it a 1-run game.
Well, in Cincinnati in the opener, it was all about location of fastball. Out over the plate, really not able to get it down in the strike zone. Very inconsistent with a breaking pitch. But was much better in his second appearance.
And he's missed twice with a fastball. He's fallen behind Hayward. Saves have been hard to come by in Major League Baseball to start the season. Already 21 blown saves in the first week of the season. Big kind of a miss. He chased one. It's 2-1.
Yep, 93 up around the shoulders. Yep, belt high fastball is very tough to get on top of.
Three balls and a strike, and nothing but fastballs so far for Axford. Hayward is 1 for 3. His home run came against Estrada in the 6th inning, and it went from a 5-1 Brewers lead to a 5-4 lead. Full count. Another fastball.
Yeah, good life on that last one. 94 miles an hour. Well, he hasn't thrown a breaking ball yet. I doubt he's going to do it now.
Nieves called for the curve. The 3-2, and he bounces it. So Axford went to the curveball, and he walks Jason Hayward.
Oh, that's a brave pitch right there. First curveball of the inning on a 3-2 count. But that's what separated John Axford last year from the rest of his career, was his ability to throw the breaking pitch in fastball counts and throw them for strikes and getting swings.
So a man on. The tying run is aboard for Atlanta. And it's Alex Gonzalez now, their shortstop. And the Brewers set up for a double play. Not a good start to the inning for John Axford. Didn't miss by much, but Axford is behind now, and a very anxious crowd here at Miller Park.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're throwing a lot of strikes, you might get that call, but when you're throwing pitches out of the strike zone, umpire's not going to help you too much.
2-0. Big pitch coming in there for a strike. Looked like Gonzalez was content to take. Axford saved 24 last year and won 8 games. A breakout season in his rookie season in the major leagues, taking over for Trevor Hoffman. Runner goes, swinging a foul back.
Had it stolen too. Yeah, high fastball, very tough to lay off of for Alex Gonzalez. He likes the high fastball. Not a big lead, but a nice jump. Would have been tough to throw him out.
2-2. Axford has not been able to throw his curveball for a strike. See what he does here. And he'll check on Hayward. career numbers for Axford. He had 3 blown saves last year. The Brewers would love to see him finish this one off here tonight. 5-4 Milwaukee, 9th inning.
Gonzalez getting some pretty good swings of that high fastball, but just high enough for him to get underneath. His 2-2 count is where last year actually would have dropped that hook and it would have been see you later.
Hayward at first. And another check on Hayward. Gonzalez has some pop. Braves picked him up from the Blue Jays last year. Estrada in the circle for the win if they can seal it up. There's the breaking ball. Nieves hangs on and a strikeout for Axford.
That slider wasn't a curveball, it was a slider. Steady diet of heaters. Gonzalez looking to crank it up early with a big fastball, gets the slider and swings right over the top of it. Not even a strike. Good pitch by Axford.
Big out for Axford. 2 to go. The 8th place hitter, rookie Matt Young, getting his first major league start here today. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. This guy Young was a .300 hitter in AAA last season.
A good contact hitter, can run pretty well. I'm a bit surprised we're not going to Nate McCloud or Conrad, a switch hitter.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got Eric Hinsky in the on-deck circle. Young, a tough guy to double up. The 0-1 on the ground. Betancourt to second for 1, and that is all they'll get. Boy, Betancourt took his time getting it to Weeks.
He knew he wasn't going to be able to turn 2, but I'll tell you, big Jason Hayward coming in hard on Ricky.
So Hayward put out at second base. Look at Hayward come crashing in here.
Yeah, look out, Rick.
Braves down to their last out. Axford looking for his first save of the year. And it's the Wisconsin native Eric Hinsky standing in his way. Strike. Big curveball missed.
That's a good curveball right there. That's the best he's thrown tonight. One is strike, but it had good break on it. I tell you, look for Young to take off here to get into scoring position. He's a big base stealer.
He stole 39 bags last year in AAA. Nieves has a good arm. 1 ball, 1 strike. He stays put. Hinsky swings, hits it high in the air, playable for Morgan. And that is your ball game. John Axford with save number 1. A shaky start with his command, but he brings it back together and he finishes it off. Prince Fielder, 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. And how about Marco Estrada coming up from the minor leagues to pick up a victory for the Milwaukee Brewers here tonight. 2 in a row for the Brew Crew, and still much more to come on this game as we send it out to Craig Cashon in our Brewers Live set. Craig.
All right, Brian, thanks very much.